Welcome to Hybrid Talks. We're here to talk about Viking Non-GMO Seed corn from 106 day to 113 day. My name is Mac Ehrhardt. I'm chairman of Albert Lee Seed, and I'm joined today by Jake Hansen, who is our product manager. You're looking on your screen at our 2025 Viking Non-GMO Seed corn catalog. You can find this online in a nice little flip book form, or if you would like us to mail you a copy, just give us a call, or you can order one from our website. And we're going to start this section, which goes from 106 to 113 day, with Viking 7206.
Thank you, Mac. So Viking 7206, this is a hybrid that's been in our lineup now, I think, for 4 years, I believe, almost maybe going on 5 now. The best thing to say about this hybrid is yield. This is a little bit more of a racehorsey type hybrid. It likes to really push out a lot of yield, and it does it quite often. Right there, we call it out, 278 bushels, Jackson, Minnesota in 2023. But it also does that in 2022 and 2021. This has been a top tier yielding hybrid every year we've had it in our lineup. You're going to pick up good tar spot tolerance. You pick up Goss's wilt, northern corn leaf blight. So the east to west movement on it has been exceptional. Regularly going out into the I-states, all the way to Ohio, very, very easily. The one call out I have, we do want to keep this on more well-drained soils. It is a little bit susceptible to some crown rots late season in the presence of heavy rains, but it's been very rare that we've seen that now, mostly because of the drought. But this year, again, even with all those early rains we had right now, still looking very good. This has been a popular hybrid in our lineup. We probably will sell out of it again.
Thanks, Jake. The next is a brand new one called Viking 7507 that we feel is going to, kind of level up, bring us the next level for yield, but also for all-around disease tolerance. Jake, do you want to talk about this one?
Yeah, those are probably the two biggest things for it. It's taking us another step forward in yield, even compared to the one I just talked about, 7206, but also the one after it in the 4808. Another thing I really love about this hybrid going forward is that tar spot tolerance is really doing very well, and it's really showing up very easily. But also other leaf diseases like northern corn and Goss's wilt, it's very strongly tolerated to them. I've seen this. I've no problem moving this one south out of zone into 115-day corn country. We can handle that southern movement very, very well. And east to west, I don't really have a limitation on it yet. So far, it's been exceptional. It did well in the drought years. It's done well, and it's doing well so far this year in a wet year. So very, very pleased with it. The only other thing I'll call out on this one, the availability might be limited on this one, just due to some production issues early on with all those early rains we had. I don't know how much we're going to have yet, but it could be limited.
Thanks, Jake. I'll talk about Viking 4808. For a minute, this has been our lineup now for probably going on 5 years. Been a very consistent seller for us. Our customers have reported, and we've seen it as well, that it's got just outstanding emergence. So really good for early planting or heavy wet soils. Got just excellent emergence. Also is a very good dual purpose hybrid with really good tonnage and quality numbers in silage testing in both in university trials and in our internal data. Moves east and west across the corn belt really well, has good all-around disease resistance. I don't know if you see a watch out on this anywhere, Jake.
The only thing that really hurts this hybrid is the absence of late season rain. This one does flex a lot of yield late with kernel depth, more so than girth or length. Mm-hmm. So we have seen it get hurt a little bit in 2022, for instance, where it just ran out of moisture, in August and September. So it did get hurt a little bit there. So if it's under irrigation as you move west into like Nebraska and parts of South Dakota or even Kansas, if it's under irrigation, that's not a problem. It's going to perform very well. But just those late season dry spells is about the only thing that can hurt this hybrid, in my mind.
Thanks. The next one was new for us 2 years ago, and last year was its first big year for it. And this is one that we really felt leveled up both our yield and grain quality. This is what I would call a near food grade hybrid, meaning it just brings very heavy test weight and dense starch grain. It's also available as a pure hybrid, and what that designation means is that if you call up and order it, or if you order it from your dealer as a pure hybrid, we will guarantee that the seed you get is 99% free of GMOs. So if you're growing non-GMO corn on a non-GMO contract with the end user, this is a hybrid you can plant with confidence as long as you order it with that pure designation. And if you do not order it with the pure designation, we will not guarantee the purity of the seed or any other of the other hybrids that we talk about in this video. You have to specify pure, and we don't carry every hybrid with that designation. That being said, I'm going to let Jake talk a little bit more about the agronomics on it. Take it away.
Thanks, Max. So yeah, the 8509, the overall agronomics on it are very strong stalks, decent roots on it. The only call out I really have on it is when you have the real high heat, plus the real exceptional drought, which is what we saw at a bunch of locations last year. The hybrid did not fall apart. It didn't tip over. It didn't give up. It stood all the way to harvest with ease. It just acted more like a die and dry. It almost flexed its maturity down to about 105 or 106 day even in those environments. But as I moved east and saw it in some environments that got some more rain, in Illinois, Eastern Iowa, it fixed all that. It looked extremely healthy, looked good everywhere else. So to me, that just tells me we got to limit its southern movement a little bit. I don't really want to see this one's anywhere south of like I-70, going across Kansas or Missouri. Keep it north of there, keep it under your, as you move it west, keep it into your little bit more, under irrigation or medium to heavier soils, and it's still going to perform very well.
Good. Yeah, I think this hybrid is going to be in our lineup for a long time. I mean, just because of its all around the characteristics that it brings for yield and agronomics and the grain quality. But we are learning more about where it works and where it doesn't work. I think this year, my guess is in 2024, it's going to probably shine because of its overall health. I think that's going to probably bring it up.
Yep.
The next hybrid is Viking Fodder 5, and this is a fodder or a silage hybrid, actually a dual purpose hybrid that we grow specifically for a dual purpose hybrid. It's not just some leftover corn that we put in a bag and call it Fodder 5. It's actually produced specifically as a dual purpose because it has very good tonnage and very good silage quality. And we've seen that in testing, and we've seen it also in our own internal data. It's a nice tall hybrid, very healthy with a wide harvest window. And this does come at a better price point for silage as well. Anything I'm missing there, Jake?
No, I think kind of like the previous fodder hybrid in another video, the fodder 04. We're not just labeling it because we want to. It does have, like Max said, very good silage quality and quantity. It really is a great dual purpose hybrid.
And next hybrid is a 111-day called 5811.
Yeah, so the 5811, again, kind of like the 4808, it's a little bit older hybrid. It's been in our lineup now, I believe, about 5 or 6 years. But it's another one that has been extremely consistent for an 111-day across locations, and that has regularly shown up in our data. This one was, I believe, number 5 in my late season trials this last year, up against some real heavy hitters like Pioneer 1197. A prairie hybrid there you can see in the data. It's been an exceptionally good yielding hybrid. It really is very durable. It can handle some dryland acres. It can go under irrigation. It can go into heavy wet soils very easily. So the areas of adaptation of this one, again, east to west, is really exceptional. Very, very strong as you move into between 110 and 115-day corn country.
Super. Yeah. Then we'll turn the page and talk about 2 brand new hybrids that bring a kind of a new yield level to our late corn. And also we are launching our first conventional non-GMO 113-day.
Yeah, so these hybrids, like Max said, being brand new, really bumping up the game in terms of yield performance, disease tolerance. So the 7611 at 111 day is going to compete really well with the 5811. This one was actually number 3 in my late season trials. Again, up against Pioneer 1197, as you see there, Prairie hybrids can handle competition with ease. Another step forward in that tar spot battle with excellent tolerance, great gust wilt tolerance. Um, like I say right there in the bullet point there, best performance on medium to heavy soils. I don't want to see you put this one on your dry land or your light sandy soils in the absence of irrigation. If you've got irrigators, great. It's going to handle it just fine. But we want to keep it on those medium to heavy soils and moving east. South, take it as far south as Texas as you want. It's going to perform and it's going to handle those environments very, very well.
What I'm hearing you say on that one, Jake, is it'll it'll handle the heat just fine. It just doesn't want to be on sandy ground without enough water.
Right. That's
Okay.
right. Yep.
Okay. Good. Then the next one you're jacked up about because it was number 1 in our yield trials last year. So I'll let you talk about 7813.
So it's like Max said, the 7813 and 113 day, number 1 in our trials. So we have, the number 1, the number 3, and the number 5 hybrids coming at you, very, very strongly here. The 7813, again, like the 7611, take it as far south as you want to. You can handle going all the way into Texas, and across, the Mississippi Delta even into Florida, very, very well. Excellent stalk strength going into the fall. This is a nice, tall, robust plant with exceptional health. Again, it's really bumping up that tar spot tolerance compared to some of the older hybrids that we've looked at in the past. And with that, as we show in the data, it's really bringing a bunch of yield with it. This is a nice flex year hybrid. It can really push out the yield on good ground. You can back off your populations if you need to in some lighter soils. That does move west really well. It can handle some dry land acres. It can handle some of those sandier environments well. It's got the flex to do it. So very, very excited to have these late options for the first time ever in the Viking lineup. I think they're strong options to present. You can give these out with confidence that they're going to perform well in all environments.
7813, I think, also has potential to be what I would call a near food grade hybrid. I don't think it's going to make a true food grade, but it has very heavy test weight and good quality grain. So we have hopes that it will be accepted into some milling plants. With that, I think I'd like to talk about one other thing before we close this section. Jake, if you turn to page 18.
Oops, too far.
No.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go. So this year we are offering for the very first time a custom biological treatment option for conventional non-GMO corn called Rise Up Plus BioGuard. So why are we offering this? A couple of reasons. So there are some of you are growing either silage or you're producing silage to make milk, or you're growing grain for a food company that wants to limit the use of neonicotinoid insecticides. And this gives you an option to treat your seed with something that is biologically based rather than hard chemistry. And so those companies that are specifying that they want their farmers to use biological methods rather than hard chemistry are going to be very interested in this kind of an approach. I think that 10 years from now, probably most of us are going to be using these biologicals rather than at least some of the chemistry that we're looking at today, because that seems like where the industry is moving. This is not something we offer, not having seen it in trials or tested. This has been tested for 3 years now with very, very consistent results. And so you can see there on the lower right, I'm not going to walk you through it point by point, but we're comparing this treatment to essentially a full fungicide and insecticide treatment over 14 replicated locations over 2 years. And you can see that in this trial, the average yield of this biological option compared to the fungicide plus insecticide brought exactly the same yield. Now, does that mean it's going to yield the same thing every time? No, it doesn't. And so that's why that piano chart is in there. So if you look at that, you'll see that in one of the locations, the seed that was treated with this biological combination actually lost 40 bushels an acre. And I have no doubt that that was a location where there was a cutworm problem, because this treatment does not offer any protection against cutworms. It offers very good activity against corn rootworm. It offers good activity against seed corn maggot, but it does not offer protection against cutworm. Oh, I forgot to say, it also offers good protection against wireworm, and it offers good fungal disease protection as well. We do not recommend that you plant your seed corn as early as you would if you had a seed corn treated with a fungicide and insecticide combination. We recommend that you wait till the soil temperature at 3 inches at 7 a.m. is 50 degrees. So we want you to plant your corn in a nice warm ground. But if you do that, we feel like this product will at least equal the performance you could get out of a fungicide and insecticide. If you'd like to learn more about it, look at the catalog, give us a call, or scan that little QR code in the catalog, and it'll take you to our website to tell you exactly what ingredients are in there. Yeah, and so with that, I think I'll just leave it. I'd like to thank you for joining us for this section where we talked about Viking Non-GMO corn. Jake, thanks for all your knowledge on our hybrids. Jake walks a lot of plots and looks at a lot of data, so he really knows these hybrids inside out. And it's nice to have him here to talk about them. If you'd like to hear us talk about some of our earlier hybrids or some of the Viking Non-GMO soybeans, please click on one of the other videos in our YouTube channel. Thanks again.